So Paul Thomas Anderson, or PTA, he's an American filmmaker and he's made movies like There Will Be Blood and Boogie Nights, but today we're going to be talking about the gay characters or gay aspects in his movies. So in Paul Thomas Anderson movies, he's got a lot of complex characters in them. Some of those characters happen to be gay, and so growing up as a gay filmmaker, as a gay person, it was some of the first times that I saw gay characters in the movies. All right, let's start with Boogie Nights. So Boogie Nights, it's about the adult film industry in the 1970s, and it follows a makeshift family. So when the movie starts out, we get to meet Dirk Diggler, which is played by Mark Wahlberg. And in this scene, there's a 360 pan of the character's room. And I always found it very interesting the way the camera lingers and stays on Mark Wahlberg's body. The camera probably lingers is because they are trying to allude that there's something very unique underneath his underwear. But you can't deny the homoerotic nature of it. Much later in the movie, there's a scene where a stranger asks the Dirk Diggler character to perform a sex act, and he claims that he's not gay.
I'm not gay, I just wanna...
Another brief gay moment happens by Philip Baker Hall, reveals a little bit about his sex life.
I like simple pleasures, like butter in my ass, lollipops in my mouth. That's just me. That's just something that I enjoy. Call me crazy, call me a pervert.
But the most notable gay character is Scotty J, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman, who is a total closeted gay man. And when we first meet Scotty J in this scene by the pool, you can see how well Hoffman does a very admirable job in establishing his affection or crush for Dirk Diggler without coming off as over-the-top or cliche. And according to the audio commentary track, it sounds like Paul Thomas Anderson gave Hoffman full range to explore this character, claiming that he didn't fully know about the gay adult film world.
It's not a world that I know a lot about, to tell you the truth. I know a lot more about heterosexual porn than I do about gay porn.
The character's arc climaxes in this very memorable scene, where Scotty J tries to impress Dirk Diggler by buying a similar car that Dirk already owns. After he shows him, he tries to kiss him, and it ends with a very sad but memorable long take. Okay, let's move on to Magnolia. Now, Anderson's follow-up to Boogie Nights was 1999's Magnolia, which again featured a desperate gay character, quiz kid Donnie Smith, played by William H. Macy. Now this time, it wasn't just someone who was coming to terms with their sexuality, but it was a gay character lusting after what might be a straight character, Brad the bartender. This character is just lost and confused, as well as the other souls that make up the ensemble of Magnolia. Also, there's this character who also seems to be competing for Brad's affection. Much like Scotty J trying to impress Dirk with his car, Donnie tries to get similar braces to impress Brad, who also has braces. I don't know, but if Scotty and Donnie were to meet each other in an alternate world, maybe they would have gotten along. They both had similar tactics to pick up men. But it's great to see a character from the late 90s who wasn't just battling his sexuality, but was having a universal desire to try to impress another person. All right, let's talk about one of my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movies, Punch Drunk Love. And in Punch Drunk Love, Adam Sandler plays Barry Egan. I have since learned that now this movie is not for everyone, especially people who thought they were getting a slapstick Adam Sandler comedy, but instead got this very deeply accurate, romantic, musical, non-musical, bizarre character study. I love this movie so much. So much so that I paid homage to it in my first feature film, How to Grow a Tiger Lily. The movie was not just inspired by Punch Drunk Love, but it definitely was a major influence on me. And not to get too personal, but I saw so much of myself in the Adam Sandler character. From the strange idiosyncrasies, especially in this scene, how Anderson shows Barry beating himself up for saying something stupid.
And bye-bye. And bye-bye.
This movie captures a personality type that is rarely seen on screen, and no movie I had ever seen had shown something like this before. There's also, of course, this scene where his family is calling him a gay boy.
About you.
All
Remember
right.
we used to call you gay boy? You'd get all mad.
What's that?
We used to call you gay boy. Remember, you'd be fine, and then we'd call you gay boy. You'd just freak out.
We were calling you gay, and you got so mad you threw the hammer through the sliding glass door. You remember?
I don't remember this.
Yes, you do. We were calling you gay boy, and you got so mad. Are you gay now?
I don't know.
which in Bear's case was completely false, but in my case, 100% accurate. So Barry had every right to be mad in smashing those windows. I mean, I love Punch Drunk Love so much, and while there isn't really a gay character in it, it inspired a gay filmmaker to make a gay movie, so there's that. Okay, let's move on to The Master. This movie has confounded and impressed many into wondering what type of story this was, or the meaning behind it. For me and others too, I immediately saw it as a story of two men in love, but unable to pursue it. One, unable to understand what's going on as he ponders through different women, trying to find some deep love that goes unfulfilled, while the other can't seem to admit it to himself or to anyone else, even though I'm sure his wife knows fully what's going on. Many people can generalize this idea and say it's just two souls in love, but I think that diminishes the beauty and the struggle, the fact that these two men could very well be together, but it's because of the conservative 1950s culture that makes it impossible. The last scene where Hoffman sings A Slow Boat to China to Joaquin's character, it gets me every time. I love this scene so much because it's as if Hoffman's character is shouting his love for Joaquin in the loudest possible way, but also being the most subtextual and hidden way as well. Every time I go back to The Master, it's always rewarding. You always find new things in it. And so I think The Master, there's no definitive answer on what the movie means, but to me, I think it's a gay love story. Now, we could talk quickly about Inherent Vice. There isn't a lot of gay scenes in this, but of course, there's an obvious one. And it's that banana scene. And it goes on and on and on. And whether or not this has anything to do with just a deeper meaning outside of the comedic aspects of it, I don't know. What do you guys think? All right, now, Licorice Pizza. There is a gay character in this. It's played by Ben Shafty. And this is not really a huge reveal. It sort of is and it sort of isn't. It just slowly arrives to this conclusion where we discover that this character is hiding his sexuality, so he's able to be elected. Ben gives this character a lot of warmth and love. He plays a decent man. Now, what's different about this gay character as opposed to the other gay characters in Anderson's films is that this gay character seems to be pretty established in life. He's not conflicted. In fact, he's actually actively pursuing and in love and in a relationship with somebody. And that makes him a different type of gay character in an Anderson movie. But the only thing holding him back, like the characters in The Master, is society. So just like the Kubrick video that I made, it's good to see somebody that I idolized growing up didn't have or doesn't have, bigoted views on the LGBT community. I mean, it happens sometimes with artists we like and we just have to deal with it. But luckily, Anderson is not in that camp. And, as my film taste has evolved and my taste in movies and different filmmakers have changed over the years, I'm still always interested whenever Anderson puts out a new movie because it's still exciting. His movies still feel like events to go to. I guess that's the end of the list. That's all the gay moments. Okay, I'm finished.